how far you put the ball out on the lane. It all affects the reaction of the ball in the back end, and most bowlers don't work on those fundamentals. They just think about knocking strikes down.
There's a 3-pin for Rob Wagner in the third. Rob's parents are here watching him bowl today. And as far as Art Rossi, he has family watching as well. His wife, 2 children, a couple of boys. And the 6-pin is left standing. Make it the 4-pin.
Yes, he came in a little bit too full on the pocket that time. Hart's not what I would call a finesse-type bowler. He sort of gets the job done with his arm. He muscles it a little bit, puts it where he wants it.
Gives him a 6-pin lead after 1 frame. With handicap added in, and he converts the 4. There, a look at the scorecard, and that handicap is added right to the first frame score, of course. Frame number 4 for Art Rossi. 2 strikes and a spare to show. And make it strike number 3. He's a red-hot bowler at the moment.
Yeah, right now he's going with the high hard one.
Yes, he is.
He has the right type of bowling ball for the surface of the lanes. He's not giving it much chance to do anything. He's just trying to throw it just as high and as hard as he can.
Directly at the pocket.
Rob Wagner in the 4th.
Good break.
Lets the action go to work for him.
That's what I meant by him playing the proper angle. He's throwing the ball in such a place that the ball and the lane can do most of the work, and he just got it in the right place. Now he's letting everything, all the elements of the game take over.
You can see the action off the wall here. He gets a good break where the pin hits the sideboard, comes out, and takes the 4-7 off.
If that ball was a little bit more towards the center and hit the pins at a little different angle, he would have probably left the 5-7 or the 4-5-7 on that particular shot.
Well, that time comes in high. He got rid of the 10-pin, but still leaves himself with a tough one.
Yes, this is a very difficult split to convert. You've got the 4 and the 6, which are parallel to each other, and it's virtually impossible to get the pin to slide directly across the alley. It can be bounced a little bit, but even if you get the 4 across the alley to catch the 6, you still have to get a break to carry the 9 out.
And he would have converted the 10 on that one, but leaves himself open, of course.
Yes, we have a little malfunction here on lane 8. We have pins that are dropped a few pins. Maybe we could have the cameraman step down there and move those pins out for us. He's about the closest one to it.
Well, if he can get away from his duty, maybe he can take care of that for us. There he goes.
There he goes. How about that?
That's Mike Tiskus.
Boy.
And Mike's going to do us a favor right there.
Hey, well, he's going to keep them. That's it. Very good. He'd take them home for souvenirs.
It would help.
Yeah, we could use those pins in the machine. It'll make the machine cycle faster, but you can just slide them down along the gutter. They won't have any trouble. Have to wait till the sweep goes up. Liable to lose a cameraman here. He'll come up as the 5-pin on the next rack.
Okay, thank you, Mike, for the help. Now Art Rossi in the 5th frame. He's compiled a nice little lead for himself that can be even more if he marks here, because Rob Wagner's on the open frame. But misses the head pin.
Just a little bit too much speed there. Got to the foul line, he wasn't lined up with his target. His shoulder angle was a little bit to the right. Consequently, the ball ends up to the right.
We look forward to a clinic from Roy Buckley, who's with us a little bit later on in the show, so stay tuned for that. Leaves the 4-pin.
Yes, that's a, once again, he didn't use enough angle. When you have the 1, 2, 4 on tight lane conditions such as these, he should be coming from further to the right. You want to get the ball between the 1 and the 2 so it'll deflect into the 4. And as you see here, he hits too direct on the 1, which sends the 2-pin around the front of the 4, and you end up with the open frame.
Oh, that's an unusual bit of action there.
Yes, it is. Art came back after missing the head pin to the right with a shot pulled to the left. You can see here he's made probably a mental adjustment, got himself in trouble. He goes through the head pin a little high, and look at the pin action here. Trips the 3-pin from behind.
That's one you don't find every day.
Roy said they always do that against him.
Oh, I bring the best out in most all of them.
Rob Wagner gets the 9-pin out, leaving the 5. And he's down by 10, and now a little bit more than that because Art Rossi is working on a strike at this point.
This Roy breaks such as we saw. Here's the replay. You can see here where the ball is going to cross over. He gets over Brooklyn a little bit too far. He doesn't get enough drive to catch that 5-pin.
He's a little off balance, and he's trying to keep the ball to the right, but by falling off to the balance, he keeps pulling the ball to the left. If he could keep himself a little bit more on balance, he would have a much better chance of executing the shot the same way each time. There's really no way that you can fall off of balance the same every time.
No.
It's pretty much impossible. Same things happen with happens with just about everybody when they're learning the game right now. A lot of them are doing pretty much the same thing. They're just doing it at the improper angle. Even though they do make the shot as well as they can and pretty good, they're just playing the lanes wrong, and then they try to improvise off of that, and they're just really just totally lost. Right now, this is what's happening to really both of them.
Yeah, he's come up high again on this shot. He's trying to overcome playing the lanes improperly by changing the roll on his ball, and consequently he's starting to roll the ball bad also. We have another pin rolling around the front of the deck. There we go. Plucked it right out of there. Very good. Here we go. As I was saying, we saw a break where the 3-pin was tripped from behind, which was a shot that could have easily been an open frame, and it resulted in a strike. When you're bowling in competition, Roy, I know some players don't like to watch their opponents when they're bowling, because breaks like that go against them affect them mentally. Is that part of your game? Does that bother you?
Well, for quite some time I didn't watch my opponents. A lot depends on who it is. I bowled Mike Durbin on TV last winter, and I figured if I was going to get beat, I wanted to watch it. You know, I wanted to watch one of the best in the world work. A lot depends on who it is. Sometimes if it's a player that does spray the pins around quite a bit, I don't want to see it. But if it's someone like a Dick Weber or a Dave Sutar or a Mike Durbin or something like that, I enjoy watching them because I can learn from them. I can almost get the feel, and we can just get a little thing going between the two of us, you know. It's kind of a ESP or something that
You get vibrations from one another.
right, you know, and you can just sense if he's slipping or he's coming, and you can just, I don't know exactly how to explain it. There's just a feeling that you get there.
Well, 11 pins separate Art Rossi and Rob Wagner if they go to the 8th frame.
This Art converted the 1-2-4 in the 8th there, or the 7th rather, which he had missed earlier. So
he's still leaving himself out to the right, which is a trend that we've seen in the second half of this game from Art.
yes, and on his 3 out of the last 4 shots, he's hung the ball to the right side. Now, it's possible that he's losing his direction as he's going to the foul, and he may not be ending up at the same place on the approach when he's releasing the ball. It could be his timing, his body position. He has to know his own game well enough to adjust to that, and evidently he's having difficulty doing that.
And he converts the 1-2 coming in from the right side. Roy, is that a problem? Not that you've missed the head pin that often in your bowling career, but when you miss it on your first ball, trying to convert it on your second ball, is there a mental stigma attached to that? You tell yourself, well, I missed it the first time, now I've got to make an adjustment here.
Not anymore. If I miss it the first time now, it's just I really made a bad shot. I know what I did, or I should know what I did, and I just don't think about it anymore and try not to do it again. And as far as making the spare, it's pretty much routine. You know, I know where to shoot it. I've done it so many times that it's mostly just automatic. It gets to the point after a while, it's kind of like tying your shoestrings or something. You do, but you really don't think of it anymore.
Mm-hmm. 6-pin standing for Rob Wagner.
Until you miss one of them, and then it gets your attention, and then you get a little bit upset with yourself because you really didn't pay attention enough. It's just something that becomes automatic. We do miss a head pin, but most of the time we do miss it to the right, just like Art's missing it. He's missing it mostly because he's playing a very tough angle, and if he throws the ball properly, he's got a chance to get a strike. But if he makes just a little bit of a mistake, he's going to miss a head pin. We never play the alleys in such a way that if we make a little mistake, we're going to miss a head pin. If we make a little bit of mistake, we either leave just what Rob left here, a 2-4-5, or maybe a weak 10, something along that way. We always want to miss it to the right.
Yes, this 2-4-5 is not an easy spare. Once again, because you must convert it with the help of another pin. You can catch all 3 pins with the ball, but you have to be between the 4 and the 5 evenly, and chances are if you play it that way, you're going to chop one of them off. And if you play it that way, that's no problem.
So 161 plus a spare in the 9th for Rob Wagner. Art Rossi.
Got about a 1 mark difference here. We're talking about 13 pins, so you're a double and some good count here, and there could be a new leader in this match.
This time gets a piece of the head pin.
He's showing signs of adjustment. He's thinking about it. At least he knows he's missing to the right. You can see here, once again, the ball goes too far down the lane before it reacts. He doesn't have a lot of reaction on this ball to begin with, and where he's placing it has no chance to get back to the pocket solid. He gets a good break here with some pins and only has a 1-pin spare to convert.
Now with a 12-pin lead, and he needs to convert the 2 here to maintain that. That's it. We go to the 10th frame. And he knows he has a slight lead, but cannot afford an open here. So the first ball will be very big for Art Rossi here.
Yes, with the lead he does have, he's got a 2-pin edge here on a mark, so good count on the first ball is going to be very important here. Even if he doesn't strike, he can go out with a spare as long as his first ball count is good.
Looks good. He's got it there for a strike.
It's as good as they come.
First strike for Art since the 6th frame.
He looked at the scoreboard before he got up there to throw that ball, too, so that's pretty good. He put a little extra pressure on him looking at the scoreboard and then executed properly.
The old high, hard one.
That's it.
Has a chance here to lock a match out. Strike right here will turn out the lights.
Leaves a 6.
6, that gives him a 9 count. Should he miss this, I believe he'll end up with a 1, a 2-11. So, no, I'm sorry, he's on the strike.
In the 2-12, he still wins.
Yes.
Even if he misses, he has a 1-pin win.
That's right.
Switched balls here.
And he missed it.
He must have known that.
Must have known exactly where he stood. So 212 it is.
You can see here where he switched to a polyester ball from a soft porous rubber, and you see he's yanked the ball inside his target line. The ball slides through the oil, doesn't roll over much, and he misses the spare.
Just by a whisker he missed it. So Rob Wagner has been closed out as he rolls in the 10th.
That was sort of like a ho-hum shot.
Yeah, I have to try again next week.
Yeah. Come back again. Got a few more Bowl of the Month shows left in the season, and
yes, we do.
I'm sure we'll see a lot of these bowlers back again.
This is really great. I wish there was something like this when I was coming. It sure would have saved me a lot of learning experiences on a higher level.
Yes.
Well, it's all over, and Rob Wagner gets a learning experience. He finishes with a 183 to Art Rossi's 212. So Art was able to come through there in the 10th frame on that first ball when he really needed it.
Roy's next.
Roy Buckley will be giving us a clinic. I believe we have one more match to go before that, so We'll look forward to that. And we'll be right back to talk with our bowlers in just a moment. Rob Wagner with us. And Rob, was this your first experience on TV, bowling?
Yes, it is.
How did it go for you? Were you at ease out there?
After the 4th or 5th frame or so, I started to lose my nervousness.
You were looking for that strike ball, and still it was anybody's match going to the 10th frame, so you were right in it all the way. You have to be encouraged with that.
Right, I threw a lot of balls on the nose, and I had trouble getting it back. But Art bowled well, so.
Yes, he did. Ross?
Yes, he has no regrets in this match. He did perform well. The experience of TV, the pressure, it is hard to overcome at first, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 appearances to get used to it. So your real game may not have shown today, but you were well enough for the circumstances.
How'd you feel about it overall? A positive, encouraging experience, and you look forward to the next one?
Yes, I do look forward to the next one.
Okay, we hope to see you again, Rob. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Rob Wagner. Now let's bring our winner up here, Art Ross. Well, Art, it was still anybody's match as you got up there for the 10th frame and you buried that first one. That had to be a rather good feeling for you.
Yeah, it was. I knew I needed 9. That's all I needed to win the match. I'd shut him out with 9 pins. That's what I was shooting for. I was shooting for the head pin.
So we were talking about when he picked up that ball that we hadn't seen the whole match and threw it, he knew he didn't have to have that final pin, right?
That's right. I was shooting for it, but I choked and pulled a little wee bit.
Well, how do you feel overall after this experience for you?
I feel very good. A little warm up here. It's a nervous experience, but I'm looking forward to the next match.
And we talked about the second half of the game for him, Ross, and you noticed a few things which apparently he noticed there in the 10th frame.
Yes, he did. He had a tendency in the second half